Welcome to Too Stupid for Web3, the show that tries to make sure you don't end up like me, too stupid to win. Man, it's the last show of the year, and I think Mass is missing out on it too. I don't know, haven't got a message from him. But either way, last show of the year. Next Thursday is Christmas. The year after that is the New Year's to 2026. So another year come and gone in Upland. I'm looking at on January 5th, hitting my sixth year in Upland, which is crazy to think about. And it does kind of blow my mind that it's been that long already. It doesn't seem that long, but then I think back on some of the stuff too, and it seems that long. But I was looking back at the topics I've collected over the years because I have nothing better than to do than make spreadsheets. And I've steadily increased. In 2020 I made 4.5 million UpX. 2021 I made 7.9. 2022 I made 11.2. 2023 I made 12.5. 2024 I made 14.5, and this year I'm probably going to finish out at 16.6, 16.7 million. So every year I've increased, and I've earned overall 66.6 million UpX from Upland. So I'm just dumb because I haven't cashed any of it out. So I get it. But 2025 was a good year for me in Upland, and I think about if I just did things better, how much more UpX I would have. A lot to talk about this week. Quiet news week, but Singapore did launch. Um, Interested to see the announcements for the holiday season here, but more service structures drop. Wonderland Ornament Challenge going on, and Queens had their Queens Evolve for more neighborhoods released. Um, so some stuff to dive into. I did wake up this morning feeling a little under the weather, and then a full day at work. I came home and took about an hour nap. So we'll see how long I can roll solo tonight before I call it or my voice takes me out. So, and I was surprised. Um, this morning was getting ready for work, and my youngest comes in and he's like, "Daddy, I need water." And I told him to just go get his water bottle, but then it hit me that he didn't look right, and it should have hit me off too that it was about 4:15 in the morning that he did this, and then he went running through the house, and I heard him start to heave, and I'm like, "Dude, not on the carpet, not on the carpet." I'm like, "Get to where there's no carpet." So he ran there, and I was running to get something for him to do his business in. So that's how my morning started out, and it went down from there. So, but glad to be here on a Thursday night. Um, let's see here. Some of the things. Let's see here. Now, I know last week I talked about. I thought the hotel was pretty awesome. I liked its footprint, how big it was. Wanted to get one, and then between the show, um, yeah, between the show and um, Sunday at noon Eastern. Yeah, just never picked it up. So I was kind of disappointed in that. Thank you, Redbeard. I hope I don't get what he got either. So definitely don't want to be sick around the holidays. But I will have to get a bank because early on, when all you had time to do in Upland was speculate about what they were going to do with the game. I was going around San Francisco. I was spending time on Google Maps looking up all the banks in Upland because I was going to be a banker because we are going to be able to have loans and all kinds of fun stuff in Upland. We had all kinds of speculation. So I was buying up bank properties. So I'm finally glad to see that we'll have a bank in Upland. And hopefully I do remember to purchase these before Sunday. Planetarium's pretty cool, and then the post office is just huge. Uh, so I don't know where I'm at with the post office, but definitely thinking wanted to grab the bank and the planetarium this week. Disappointed I didn't get the hotel last week. Um, Redbeard is loving the observatory, but it's too big to fit on any of my node properties. Yeah. Um, yeah, I haven't checked out the footprint, but for a 68 service unit, that is absolutely pretty large size property, and a 92 service unit is a pretty big property too. Yeah. Last week, me and T Wilk went at it in some fantasy football and came out on top. And I'm hoping he's not getting revenge. Hopefully, he's not getting revenge this week in our matchup. So I'm hoping to keep the streak alive. Sorry, buddy, but yeah, I got to keep the streak alive because my teams have just been killing it this year in the different Upland fantasy leagues. Uh, so I can't. I was disappointed. I had a killer team in Dizzy's home league, Dizzy Diskey's home league, and I got knocked out last week. I was super sad about that, but I did well in the other in the other fantasy leagues. Um, so excited about that. But yeah, let's hear which league are we playing in, T Wilk? This week I'm playing TM in the Upland Fantasy League. He's projected to beat me. Ooh, and I got somebody playing today. Oh, okay, Williams. He could go off. I'm okay. Um, we're good there. I didn't even check that. That was horrible. So I must be playing you in the yes in the Wolf Warner 50K high roller fantasy football league. That's a 16 team best ball. I was highly skeptical of that league this year. I was like, this is going to be insane. But yeah, it was fun. I'll definitely do that league again. Uh, he had two divisions of eight teams, and Sir Red was killing it this year too, and Big Island Bashers, which is Vape High guy, and like, wait, are the all three of you from that division are left? What do we have matchup wise? Yeah. Oh, and Boydern, he's playing Big Island Bashers. Yeah. All right. Should definitely be fun week. Fun week. What's up, JT? Yeah, I love best ball. I haven't done it for a few years. Usually right around January, February, right around Super Bowl time, I start doing a slow draft for best ball leagues and uh, and then I'll do it all the way up till draft time. And but I haven't done it the past few years. Want to get back into it. Love best ball, but it's a different strategy too. It's not your typical setting a lineup each week because when you set up lineup each week, you got the boom or the bust players, and you're like, is he going to give me 2 points or is he going to give me 20 points? And you just don't know. But in best ball, you kind of do a mixed balance. You get your high floor type guys that you know will get you the points, and then you have the guys that will have blow up games every couple of games that will just go off out of nowhere. So it's fun strategizing that way too. Um, so yep, service structures. That was that. The and then Shanghai released, or I mean Singapore. Did I say Shanghai the whole time? It's Singapore released. It's been one of those days. Um, I missed the pre-sale, which I usually get in on and am able to pick up a couple of properties ahead of time. The deluxe bundles, they stayed in the shop a little longer, but overall, uh, the the some of the properties are pretty expensive. I was unable to participate in the launch My last job, we used to have a meeting on top of it. Now the new position I have at work is definitely not making these city releases, which is disappointing. So I saw some of the smaller neighborhoods. I was like, oh, all the properties are gone, but they're not because they're expensive. But it's Singapore, so it's expected. Um, but they also do have some properties at a great price too, and you can pick up a lot of decent price properties. So I was surprised how many are left. I don't know if it's because of the holiday season. The daily unique users is still about the same, so it's not like we have a drop off in players. I don't know if people, I figured Singapore would create a lot of hype, and it didn't. So really unsure what was going on there. What's going on, Swarley? But that was a that was a good release, and I would spend more, but unfortunately, my sponsorship to the URL is due next month, so I had to be cautious of that last year. Forget, I already forget what we released last year around this time, and I went a little too crazy. So it was a scramble to get the funds to the URL last year, due in our contractual window that they get the payments for their sponsorship, but you all moved downtown LA. You got him in 3, JT. Got him in 3. And then they talked about the ornament challenge being bigger, better, bolder, more rewarding, and we're on that new scoring. I still love this new scoring. Shout out to Swarley on that one. Um, I'm just behind on building structures. So once again, you get a badge, Black Explorer, and some UpX. So definitely fun there. Got 3 in the packs. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that competition continues to go on. I know that's everybody has their little niche. You have the people that like doing the decor contest. You have the people that like to decorate the ornament contest, and then you have the people that like to decorate their properties. And I do like the twist that they um, put on with, last time it was POV, so it'll be interesting to see which way they go this year. Um, what were some of the other things I was looking at? Oh yeah, on the river is pricey, but hopefully it works. They were pricey. Yeah, over 4 mil. I mean, I think 11 properties for 4 mil in Singapore were pretty good. I went in and bought my minimum 3. I'll pay the URL, and then I'll see what I have left, and then I'll go shopping. I might pay them early. I need buildings to move my ornaments around, but yes, definitely use Swarley's tool, the magical ornament tool. It is awesome. Um, I did take a look back. I was like, okay, since this is my last show of 2025, um, I just don't have the time, and I don't have the passion this year to do a marathon end of the year show. Um, yeah, I'm just not feeling that this year. Doing one of those, trying to break last year's record. I don't know, just not feeling it. But I wanted to see how Sparklet did over the past year, you know, and it's down 35%. And we had a nice little rally at the end of last year. We got up to 0.037 and change there. Um, and then we had the dips where we got down to some really good buying seasons through early through the spring and early summer, and then they flipped the game on us. So then it became the service structures came out, and we had the big spike, and we did top out, you know, a little over 3 cents here, but we're back down to just above 2 cents. Uh, not financial advice, but it's getting back into you know I like this buying range. I've been buying incrementally, so i- I'm just excited that I'm getting more Sparklet now for the price. But I have missed the last few Wednesdays, just Thanksgiving, new position, all that fun stuff. Absolutely, Redbeard. That's why this will be the last one. Usually Christmas or New Year's fell around and we picked a day that we do the long one. And we did that for a couple of years, but just not feeling it this year. And if everyone hasn't checked out uplytics.org, um, he has a lot of cool information. And this one I liked. Yeah, there is the perma $5 in the shop now. So I do like it, but it still breaks down a little different. But I do like how Uplytics tracks this, it tells you how much Sparklet was sold. Here, let me blow that up. There we go. Makes it a little bit easier for everyone. Um, and he does have some historical data back there. And I know one day I wanted to look at it, and the $300 package sold in 38 minutes that day. 20 sold in 38 minutes. It was pretty quick. Um, that was the best one of the historical data there. Still going back to the 19th, 3 hours, 39 minutes went pretty quick. But I do like the time of how long the packages were active before they were sold out. Um, you're always in the know on stuff, so I'm not gonna say there was a great find. You're just in the know. You're a great source of information, so that's pretty awesome. I'm excited if this is getting a makeover because he's already putting a lot of cool stuff up here. So really enjoying it, really digging it. Uh, but yeah, definitely enjoy. And then I do love that he has the top buyers for the week in there, and he breaks down how much people bought for the week. Um, just and then shows the recent transactions going on and all the times in UTC. So you just have to adjust for where you're at. But cool tool there. And then also under his analytics, he's got the feed stats. And, you know, last week I said, I wish somebody was tracking the seed stuff. And then I looked and I was like, oh, he's already tracking it. Um, or maybe that was 2 weeks ago. But I did say it would be nice to have 7 days, 30 days, 3 months. And he already added it. So you have um, the 7 day seed volume. He's got the popularity breakdown of what seeds have been growing with the different zones, top generators the last 7 days, and the total spent to generate the seeds. I do like the volume of seeds, and he has it overlaid with the average cost, average sparklet cost, so you can really trend what's going on there. Um, and then if you hit the 30 days, it flips over to a bar chart with a nice overlay. So I mean, like December 16th, the volume was the highest volume, but the cost was the lowest, which I find interesting. So Upland is definitely adjusting how they're pricing it with the demand. Because if we look back to December 11th, when we talked about the cost was like kind of crazy, and the average cost was 142 sparklet, and there was only 788 seeds. Mind you, it was still early on. It will be interesting to watch this develop as more nurseries come online with MetaVentures and um, more people are generating seeds to just kind of see where it is. And glad you're feeling better, Poppy, and glad you can make it. Um, and I do like watching how the popularity breakdown is changing. And it's almost a 10% tracking between the two ultra rares in the cold versus um, the the more common type seeds. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to see myself there, Swarley. That the total number of seeds ever minted impact the price, meaning the price may be more stable in the future. Um, but yeah, I could spend a lot of time just kind of checking it out. And this is what I check in. Hopefully, this is another one where he can do the, you know, 7 day, 30 day, 3 month, 6 month, year, 2 year, 5 year max all time, kind of like stocks or crypto. But because I know we were pushing closer to the 10,000 line for a while of unique daily users, and we've kind of slacked over the last 7 days. And it's based off of the unique EOS accounts that perform an action within a given day. So that doesn't mean the active players. Some people go a couple of days without logging in to check on stuff, but it's based off of somebody making a transaction with their EOS. Well, it's not even making a transaction. So the new mints, the property listings, earnings collected, fees collected, or sending to other people properties. So I do check that to see for game growth itself. Um, and if you haven't checked out his live data is pretty cool too. Um, He's got the seed generation monitor live data, and it shows you how many seeds were generated the last 24 hours, sparklet spent, the trending seed that's out there. Super cool data. If you're a data person, it's just awesome. Everything that he has in there tells you the seed production in the last 24 hours. Once again, top generators, recent activity tells you what's going on. So yeah. Oh man, Poppy, you're already going to farms. We're just trying to grow seeds in a greenhouse. um, yeah, Fresno, that was all the big thing. We were going to farm Fresno. Fresno was going to be farming. And for the people way back in the day, there was the talk of wastelands where you were going to be able to mine Spark at the time. So Fresno came out, and everybody's trying to get these because Fresno is just kind of out away from the big cities. So, and there were bigger properties. They're like, oh yeah, this is going to be the place we'll mine Spark. Um, so that was always interesting of people having high hopes for being able to mine the wastelands of Fresno. And that was one of the topics too, was Fresno is not the wasteland. You're going to have stuff like where it's just vacant land in Colorado, deserts of Utah and Arizona and New Mexico, where there's just nothing but barren land. That would be your wastelands. But we haven't heard about that in many, many years. Um, but yeah, the live seed production on Uplytics is awesome. The property monitor, if you're into the property market, uh, pretty much shows you what's listed for sale. Um, you can you can select your markup percentages from the two. If you wanted a certain city, if you wanted stuff with structures, active listings, if you just wanted UpX or USD. Um, His seeds are definitely getting made faster than Protum, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, definitely cool stuff here. Um, Also, it's got an asset monitor if you want to see what people are selling. You can see active listings, who's listing what, and for what price. Um, you can see what's been sold. Um, and then if you need a cottage, definitely check out the Peppermint Cottage by Swarley. Or you can show everything. You can look for the different assets that you want to. And then I do like this hide reserved items. That is awesome. Um, and then they have he just has stats of how many NFTs were created over the last few days. He's got a nursery list right now. Tells you which zone they're in. Um, yeah, he's got a list of all these. I believe that Bakersfield still stays hot on the secondary. Um, then if you jump into the neighborhoods, no, that's not one I wanted. Maybe it is. We'll find out. Uh, Not the one I wanted. Oh, resident stats. So if you're interested in the residents, it's got the global trend. Once again, hopefully he adds the filters. I haven't talked to him about it, but I appreciate that he supports the show and listens and he takes suggestions. So hopefully we'll see it. But I love the comparison dates. So, if we just look at the last week here of neighborhood changes with the biggest increases. Oh, oops, to today. There we go. Couldn't find anything for tomorrow yet. But Granada Hills has seen a plus 330 increase. Belrose has seen a 239 increase in the residents. You can also look that who's losing residents. South Normandy Isle, Priest Lake, Hyde Park, Flushing, Hollis. You can also look at the most residents. Still Paradise is still crushing it with the most residents. Um, but yeah, still you can you can get lost for hours just looking at all kinds of um, user activity. Daily sends, like top 10 senders. Like over the last 10 days, you can tell who's grinding a treasure hunts. But just interesting stuff. Interesting stuff all day long. Let's see here. Going on to the structures. It's a nice thing to see that how long it takes, what it costs. He's got a separate tab for the service structures. Love it. So keep up the good work, Laban. Um, let's see here. What else do I got? Stop sharing. Oh, I'm not even. There we go. I'm back. Um, Fresno's not overlooked because it's older, more dead. It was just kind of it's a lower tier city, and I don't know. There's a lot of cities that you just kind of wonder, do people pay attention to? But I don't have a good answer for you, Poppy. Let's see here. Anything else exciting for the oh, then the other thing that I've been watching is over on Upland and just looking at the active contracts and watching the spark rental price. Um, it was it's interesting sometimes if when the prices really surge, people yeah, it's interesting watching the prices settle back down. It was getting kind of high there with the nurseries, but it's starting to settle back down. Still looks like a lot of people are still holding out for the um, higher than five OPEX per sparklet hour. Because once you hit about five and less, you still see a lot of sparklet left to stake. So, I mean, people are building, plus they're also holding out for the higher prices. And I liked it when you could get it for 3 or 4 sparklet per hour. You know, you could get 3 UPX per sparklet hour. That was great, 3 or 4, and you were rolling. And once again, I didn't take advantage of that also. But I don't know. Uh, let's see here. All righty. Yeah. It's as I said at the beginning of the show, feeling kind of under the weather. So I'm gonna call it an early show tonight, but I hope everybody has happy holidays. A lot of holidays going on right now. Hanukkah's going on. We got Christmas. We got Kwanzaa. We got New Year's going on. So whatever you celebrate, whatever you believe in, hope you have a happy holidays. Enjoy time that you get to spend with your family. And I'll see everybody in 2026. Everybody be safe and have fun.